everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Brenda. Tonight I'm going to try to make some curry chicken or chicken curry, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not going to say I make it Indian style, Jamaican style, or any of that. I just make it with chicken and some other junk, curry powder. I got a little bit of olive oil in there, but I decided that I want to use up some of this coconut oil that I have, and that's not going to hurt to mix it. Just a little bit there, you know. Well, enough, whatever you think you might need. And I'm going to turn my eye on here, and I'll let it start heating up, and then I'll turn it down. And let me tell you, there's something that I've always ate the chicken curry with, and that's rice. And I'm going to go ahead and get my rice measured. Well, I got it measured, but I want to make sure. This time I measured it with cups. Now, you use, for wet products, you use this, like milk, water, whatever, wine, you know, wet. For dry products, you use these type. So, I've got... I've got my, I turned that on earlier and it wasn't doing that now. Wants it make me mad. I've got some stuff already measured out, and like I said, I got this. Now what I'm going to do is I've got 4 cups of water in here for the rice. And the way I've learned it, you put as much rice as you do water. So there's 4 cups of water, and there's 4 of this size of rice, which is a cup. Now I'll tell you if it's right. I'm going to pour the rice in there. My hands are clean, and I'm going to do this. That feels about right, but honestly, I'm just going to tell you, it feels like there's too much rice. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more, and if I have too much rice, I'll make some rice pudding. It doesn't matter. You need to feel down in there, or just look if you're that good, and see if it feels like there's as much rice as there is water. That way there'll be no draining or nothing. It'll come out perfect. That still don't feel like it's enough water. I'll add another little half a cup or so. So honestly, I think that I've got at least 5 cups of water and 4 cups of rice, maybe 6 cups of water. So you need, the way I've learned it, is you need the same amount of rice as water, and you need to feel it to see if it feels right. And when it starts boiling, you turn it way down. Don't take the lid off. Don't measure it. Let's turn this way down. It's starting to do its thing. And I've got onions, peppers, chicken, and I made a little bit of a boo-boo, but it doesn't matter. I put my chicken in. I didn't have enough chicken defrosted, so I put a pack in the microwave to defrost it. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop it in here. Anyway, it looks like it's already cooked. That'll pop for a minute, but it'll go down. Whoops! Sorry about that, folks. Turn it down a little more. I got it a little bit too hot there. But just think, I'm the only one that gets burnt. Let me run a little cold water on that real quick. It won't hurt. It won't even blister. If anything hurts, it's the cold water on my joints. That hurts a lot. Now, I'm going to let this chicken cook, and there's something I'm going to go ahead and put in with it. And there's just a little bit of garlic left in there. I think most of it's juice. But I got a new can here, or jar. And I am going to go ahead and put some of that in there. And I don't care if the juice goes in too, really. You're going to have to add some. Let's just put that in there. It's mostly just juice. And I'm going to put This is a teaspoon, so I'm going to get it real big. Put a lot. So I got some garlic. Now look, I'm cooking this my way, the way I've learned, and some things I've added to it. And all it is just regular old garlic, minced garlic. I like to use the mince because the fresh and stuff, it's just hard. All that stuff's hard for me to fix, and so I have to cheat a little bit, but that's okay. It's okay. It ain't gonna hurt nothing, and I guarantee you it will taste the same. Now I'm gonna turn this back up so it can start cooking. And I couldn't find the curry powder that I wanted, so I ordered some on eBay. And it's good, but curry powder is supposed to be a little bit spicy. And it's not spicy, and that's okay. It don't have to be spicy, but I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put something in there to make it a little bit spicy. That's what curry is. I mean, chicken curry, it's got a little kick to it. And I tell you, when I start adding some of these other things, see, my curry, I buy the Indian curry powder because that's what I like, and it's not got no salt, but I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'll just go ahead and put it in my curry powder there now, and I won't have to worry about it. It'll be in there. I got 4 good-sized chicken breasts there, so I'll put that's probably a teaspoon, maybe not quite a teaspoon. I'm going to measure some of this stuff here while that chicken's cooking. Now in that pot, of course, you can't use a whole lot of bad stuff, metal utensils or whatever. You got to use something, rubber, plastic, whatever. I wouldn't use any hard plastic or you'll tear your pot up. I've had this skillet a long time, and it don't have no scratches. And this is what I use it for, curry chicken and stir-fry chicken. That's what I use it for. And I'm going to get this to cooking real good because I'm going to go ahead and put those peppers and onions in too, so they can start cooking in there too. We'll go ahead and add them. Now, I didn't have nothing but a red bell pepper, but it'll taste good. I guarantee you it will taste good. And I've also got a sweet onion, so we're going to need to put some kind of spices in it. And you know, so my onions and my chicken and my peppers are going to all be cooking at the same time, and that's okay. That's the way I do it. Don't matter to me. It'll all cook. It'll all be ready about the same time. Now, I know a lot of people that don't do it like this, but they all have to cook about the same time, and I'm not going to use 2 or 3 pots to do it. And I might have some left time I get through throwing it out of the skillet. I'm going to get this to going pretty good here. It's getting hotter. I can hear it getting a little hotter. I'm excited to see how it tastes with that coconut oil. It looks kind of empty, but I'll tell you, I got some out. It was like lard. It wasn't melted when I bought it. And I dropped a big spoon in the floor, so I wanted to see if it tasted like coconut, and it didn't. And you can see where in there it's trying to form back up like lard. But it doesn't have a taste. It doesn't taste like coconut at all. But I want to use it on up, get it going, and I'll probably get some more. Now there's not some of the stuff in that curry that should be in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple things. They usually use a big bay leaf, and I just got some little ones, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle them over in there and let that cook good together. I think I need a little bit more than that. I make good chicken curry. It's real good. And most of the time, if you buy curry powder in the store, it's got too much cinnamon. And I don't like too much cinnamon. If you add too much, it's no good. of garlic. Why don't I just get one of these? That's a lot. I'm just going to use, it's just regular old ground cinnamon. And I'm just going to put a little tiny, a quarter of a teaspoon, that's all. And I'm just going to put it in there. We'll put some of this stuff and measure it, put it up, and put it right in there, because I won't use a whole lot more of it. Lid down, the lid rolled away. Watch me knock something off in it before night's up. I guarantee you I will. I always do it. You can smell those bay leaves cooking in with it already. It's good. It's pretty. It looks real pretty cooking. I don't make my chicken too little, you know. You like to taste it. Let it make a good little chunk. Anyways, you like to taste it. So far, it's looking real pretty. Now listen, let me tell you something. We're going to end up in the end making a gravy. It needs gravy, something to go over the rice. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this rice to cooking. I'm going to turn it on high. I'm going to put the lid on it. I don't know, Swanee, it still feels like there's too much rice. I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear this time. I may end up having to check it. And if I do, I will, because I don't, it's got to get done, and I want it to not have no water when I'm done. And it always ends up that way, too. But I thought I'd measure it. See what I done when I measured? I messed up. But in order to show you all what I'm doing here, I need to measure sometimes. Come on, it's cooking up here real good. Is there anything else? You know, most curry powder has ginger, a little bit of ginger, and it has some ground cloves. I'm not putting no cloves in it. I'm going to put a little bit of chili powder. I like chili powder. You can't go wrong. I don't think 1/4 of a teaspoon of chili powder is going to be enough for all that. We'll heap it up. How about that? My glasses wants to fall down on my eyes and make me look like a grandma. I wish I am a grandma, but don't mean have to look like one. Now it's going real good here. I tell you, those red peppers in there makes it look real good. I need some more greenery stuff. What have I got over there that's green? Nothing. I'm going to tell you, this curry powder is not spicy at all. And it does need a little bit of a kick. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I got it out. And I might go ahead and put a little bit of cloves in it. But this is crushed red peppers. And this will do the trick probably. And, oh, that's too many. See, I just got a few in my hand. I'm just going to go ahead and put them in there now. Let them be cooking in there with that chicken. Well, my hand's a little damp, so they stuck to it. Probably isn't enough. You know, curry chicken needs a little spice, but I don't like too much of a spice. Just a little bit of clove. Maybe not even 1/4 of a teaspoon, I doubt. Did I put ginger in there yet? Did I put in ginger yet? I don't think I put no ginger yet. No, I'm going to go ahead and turn this down a little bit. And I should have already had this ginger and stuff cooking in the chicken, but it'll still be okay. And I'll just go ahead and put a little bit of that in there. I don't know how much to put. I'm just going to estimate it. 1/2 4 should be good enough. What else I got here? I did put chili powder. I bet you it wasn't enough. Okay, I got that. I'm going to leave the chili powder out a minute. And I've got 2 tablespoons. I've got 2 tablespoons of curry powder in here. I'm going to get my finger wet a little bit, and I got it in. Yeah, it tastes pretty good. I put some more parsley in there. So altogether, it would probably, if you're using fresh parsley from a store, it's probably have added 1 good leaf. Like this, probably at 1 good leaf I've probably added. So I can't order stuff like that because, I mean, I don't buy it like that real often because it'll go bad. And from what I cook using some of these things, that's good right there. That tasted good. It's going to have a little kick. Tastes pretty good. And look how pretty that is. It's getting real pretty. Them onions and stuff's cooking up in there. It's got a good smell. It smells real good. And I don't cut my onions and peppers so little you can't taste them either. I like it. I like to eat them. I used to just cut them, slice them, and put them in there because my granddaughter would pick them out, and that's all she would eat was the onions and the peppers. And now she eats it all, but she's grown and your taste buds change. Boy, I tell you, it's already looking so good. It's got a little bit of juice in there, but we'll have to add some more juice. You add water, milk, cream, whatever you want to add. And you know you gotta have this brown sugar. It's trying to get hard on me. This is not a tablespoon, and it is getting hard on me. The steam from the stove gets my stuff hard sometimes. I need to do something different, but it's this is light brown, so it's not going to be so rich, you know. It's not going to be very rich at all. And I may end up having to add some more curry because that is a lot in there. Get all that mixed in there together, and when I add it, it can all just cook together. And let me get my thing of water ready. I always start with 1 cup of water. There's a cup of water. So I always start with 1 cup of water, and so that's what we're going to do now. I need to turn it down and cook it a little slower, but I will in a minute. I'll turn it down here in a minute. I could put 1/8 teaspoon of that stuff, but that curry powder that I've done mixed all that stuff together tastes real good, except I don't have no salt. I didn't put no salt, did I?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Did I? I didn't taste it. Did I put it in the chicken or in here? I couldn't taste it at all. Well, now let me tell you something. It's real hard to get curry salty. You don't want it too salty, and you're going to be surprised at what I eat this curry with. I bet nobody else does. We just have to let it cook. I like my pot here. I really like it. What's my lid spin? Woo! It's going to come out there too. Okay, I'm going to turn it down some now and let it start cooking a little less. I think my stuff's getting pretty done here, and Once it gets where the chicken's done. Like I said, I didn't have enough chicken and I defrosted some in there. And I just hit defrost chicken and start. And it cooked some of it a little bit. It didn't only defrost it, it cooked it, and it was only a couple of minutes. That's what was so weird. Next time I'll defrost it a minute at a time. But it's okay, it was just cooked it a little bit and it'll still be okay. Except I don't like that right there. It's got a piece of that on, and I cleaned my chicken real good. I don't like it, and I have a fan that don't like it either. Well, I hope we don't get it. I don't know where it went, but the chicken's looking kind of done. Everything's looking pretty done. But I want to make sure my onions and peppers are not crunchy and the chicken's done. But it's still going to cook a little bit more. Okay, this rice is boiling and I'm going to have to cut it way down because it's going to boil over. Let's hold it up just a minute until that slows down. That eye cools down, I mean. I'm just kind of worried if that... I do not think that's going to be enough water. I really don't. I should have done it the way I always do instead of measuring it because it always came out right. I just put me some water and I put me some rice and I felt it to see if it felt right, and it was always right. This time I measured it and I don't think there's enough water in it. As a matter of fact, I'm quite sure there's not enough water in it and I shouldn't have opened it, but I don't want it to burn or stick, you know. And this is, I like jasmine rice, so that's jasmine rice and it goes well with curry, I think. I got these mechanic mats here and I don't want David to go down on them because you walk on them, so yes, they're dirty, but they help my feet a lot. And I have neuropathy and everything in my feet from the RA, so it helps a lot. And I got just regular flour right here, well, self-rising. But we're going to put some in here in a little bit, and some water and milk or whatever when we add the curry. It's got a little bit of juice in there, but once I add this, it'll start thickening up and you'll need some juice. The onions look like they're getting done, don't they? One way to find out. I love this pot. I tell you, I do. I love it. I've had it for probably 10 years and it don't have a scratch in it that I know of. Of course, I'll never let nobody use it. I got my mom one and my dad's done ruined it. That's messed up. Ouch. That's still hot. Sometimes we goof around on here and I think that's okay. We're not professionals and especially when I have Sadie with me, we like to cut up a little bit. On the last video, my husband had his boot on and he kicked against that rug and it made a funny noise. Well, Sadie automatically looked at David and said, "I'm watching you." And that's good. It's a sweet onion already, but it's already good. It's flavoring of the stuff I put in there. But you know what? I really think it could use some more parsley. It sure does taste good. People put carrots. They put all kinds of stuff. It's just however you want to make your own. But usually I buy an Indian curry that's got all this stuff I added in there. But this one don't. It don't have no salt, as you see. And that's better because a lot of people can't have the salt. This one's got stuff I can't pronounce. Black pepper, garlic, fennel, cumin, turmeric. I can pronounce it, but I can't think about it right now. And coriander. I don't have that, but it's in here. So anyway, the stuff that's usually in curry powder, I don't use, because I'll tell you that one thing I throw away, it's got too much cinnamon in it. And you don't want it tasting like cinnamon. And some people even put thyme. Wonder why I didn't put no thyme. Let's put a little bit of thyme. Sprinkle a little bit in there. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what a little bit is. Just a little bit. Oh my goodness. I tell you, look at that, David. I wonder how much water's in there. Let me see. Is there any? Just a little bit. You see what I mean? And this rice is probably nowhere near as done. Yeah, it's getting done. It'll be fine now. It'll be just fine now. It's getting tender. And it's on low. I'm just going to let it sit there on low for a few minutes. And then I'll turn it off. Just leave the lid on and the steam will finish cooking it. I just wanted to keep a watch on it because I measured it. And next time I won't measure it. Oh, it's so pretty. Look how pretty with them red peppers. I put a whole big old sweet onion in there. So we're going to need a little bit of something to make this stuff kick back at you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my curry mix, okay? I'm going to add my curry mix. Just going to sprinkle it all over in there. And I'm going to mix it in. It's going to start getting thick, so I'll put my water in there too. And I might put a little bit of cream. Because, you know, it's going to make a gravy, but it doesn't have to be a milk gravy. The curry and the curry and the juices you have in here, the curry's going to thicken like flour would. Plus, you're going to put flour. I'm going to put flour in here. I'm not sure that I need a whole cup, but I think I do. I've been a while since I've made it, and I think that I put a whole cup, maybe just a couple tablespoons. I'm not real sure. I'm going to go with a couple tablespoons, I believe. Oh, look how pretty that's looking. That is so pretty. It ain't too much mustard looking, and I like the Indian curry batter. And it gives it a real pretty, and it's not just real yellow, it's a brown color, and I like that better. But I'd like to taste that and see what it tastes like, that juice. I'm experimenting, so it's not spicy, but you can sure taste this. Woo! Put some more garlic, a lot more garlic. I can't even taste that garlic in there. Okay, I've got everything except the flour. Starting to look real good here. We won't be too long from eating. We just have to let it make our gravy. I am not going to put, I'm going to use this tablespoon right here. Well, that's not quite a tablespoon, I don't think. You know what? What? Why don't I just use the tablespoon? I forget I got this stuff, you know. Sometimes you just plumb forget you got it. Give me a bowl. I'd like to have me a bowl. Now, I'm sure I don't need to use a cup. I'm going to use a couple of tablespoons. And then a cup of water. And then we're going to stir it up. You see it's got a nice little gravy coming already. And of course, if you got a couple little lumps in there while it boils, that'll break up. And I might end up having to add a little more water too, you know, because the curry powder, anything powder you put is going to make like a little gravy paste, you know, or either a paste or a gravy. I know, let's make a different kind of gravy. Let's pour some cream in there. I think it's good, except for maybe some salt. When you're using curry powder, it seems like you need salt, and the salt, you can put a bunch and it still won't taste like you got salt. I'm going to show you what I use with mine. We use rice. And this right here is a side. And you wouldn't believe how good this is with that curry chicken or chicken curry. This is real good with them. And we use rice, and then of course we put that over the rice, and we have those on the side just like you would toast or bread or, you know, crackers, whatever. We use the chips. It's a little spicy, David, I think. Okay, we paused for a few minutes to let this cook a little bit. I know what I was missing now. It was a little bit of a bay leaf, and I put that in here, and it made a great big difference. And so that's what it was missing. This is really good. I tasted it. It's good. I'm going to turn the rice off. The rice is perfect, by the way, if you want to see. There's no juice in it in the bottom. It shouldn't be. If it is, I would be surprised. See, there's no juice coming at all. There's no juice in there. It cooked up just perfect. And when you think it's done, you turn it off. This right here is real close to being done. If it's not done, I think it's probably done. And see, it's got a nice little gravy there to put over. Now, what I was missing was the bay leaf, and I put enough bay leaf in there to make maybe a medium-sized leaf. I wish I would have remembered and put it in the beginning, but I didn't. So, anyway, I did it, and I tasted it. It tastes real good. And another thing that made a difference was I think it's better with some green bell pepper in it too. You can add all the colors of bell pepper, but it's got a different taste with the green one. And everybody knows the green bell pepper has a different taste. So it's pretty, not too yellow like mustard. It's got a nice little brownish yellow look. It's very pretty. I can't wait to eat it. It tastes real good. And so I'm going to turn this off. We've got a nice bit of gravy to go over our rice. It looks good. I put a little bit of cream in it, and the water made a good little gravy to it, or paste, whatever you want to call it. I call it gravy. But it looks good. I'm going to turn it off because I don't want it to thicken no more. And like I said, I used the wavy. You can use any brand you want. The wavy, and I got the family size because you start eating them with this, it's going to be good. You're going to keep wanting more. And I'll show you. I'll fix it, and I'll show you what I do. These are clean. I washed them while I was on. I don't want that spoon. While I was on a little break here. In this pot right here, it doesn't matter. We'll get this spoon. So I'm going to fix one and show you how I do it. Get you a good amount of rice, whatever you think you want. I'll put too much and then I'll overfill the bowl and he'll say, I can't eat all that, but then he will. Oh, look how pretty that looks. Make sure I give you enough gravy and meat. Is that good, you think? Okay, now watch. I usually just lay a few of these near the side, but I got that bowl kind of full. And then what we're going to really do is just take these in the living room with us and watch TV and have the bag in there and just take what we want. But I'm going to let David try some with a bite of this.
Good. Yeah.
Well, good.
Real good.
Sorry about the crunching there, but sometimes you just can't. This one won't be like that. So there's our dish, and that's the way I serve it. Maybe you would like to try it with the rippled potato chips. Very good. Get that juice and a piece of chicken and some pepper on there. You never know what's good with something until you try it. But I want to thank everybody for coming back to Cooking with Brenda. Please subscribe if you haven't and try some of my dishes. I'll see y'all next time.